Hello, everybody. I hope all my friends can join me tonight. I know everybody should have got notifications by now. We'll wait a few minutes and see if anybody comes in. If not, we'll go ahead and get started. There's Donna. Hello, Donna. Well, we got two Donnas in here. See, we got Donna Palsetia and we got Donna Murphy. Hello, ladies. How are y'all doing this evening? And you can see I pinned the StreamYard link at the top of the live chat. So anytime during the live chat that you want to get on screen with me, just copy that link, put it in your browser and click on it and come on in the studio. There's country, let's see. Country Cutie, that's what I thought it was. Hi Country Cutie. I'm doing great. I got bored. I haven't been able to do too much in the yard today. I did water a few things. I had watered most of it yesterday or day before, but there was a couple of things on the property line that I needed to water today, so I did. I'm going to give my back and leg another day or so, maybe Monday. And then I have got to start working on that raised bed. I've either got to get soil, compost and everything in those buckets, or got to take the buckets out and put 18-gallon totes in there and get some soil in there because I got my collard plants already come up. They sprouted, so it's not going to be long before some of them will have to be pulled out, and I've got to put them somewhere. So that's my plan anyway. We're not supposed to get any rain. It's supposed to be back in the 90s this week. It was 90 today, I think. It's 83 right now. And it's 7:03 p.m. So yeah, we're back. Texas doesn't get rid of summer. Nobody told Texas it was summertime, or that summertime was ending, that fall's here, that the temperatures are supposed to cool off. Nobody informed Texas of that. My son came over and we barbecued. Okay, that sounds real good. Exactly. That's treasure time with your son. Well, I'm gonna try to get my chicken barbecued tomorrow. We'll see. I got it thawed up and I got it in the bottom of the refrigerator ready to go. Now I just got to get all my seasonings and get my sauce made that I'm gonna baste it with, and decide what I'm gonna cook with it. I did buy some corn on the cob. I got 3 ears of corn on the cob because it was only like 38 cents an ear. So I bought 3 ears, but they were little ones. I was surprised they weren't big like usual. They were little tiny ears of corn, but I got 3 of them. I'm gonna fix them on the grill tomorrow. Just like I said, I'm gonna fix some Hawaiian, what is it, huli chicken on the grill tomorrow, or try to. I've never fixed it before, so it'll be interesting. Let me refresh this thing. It's not doing too well here on this laptop. Yeah, I kind of wanted to go to my son's house this weekend, but since I was down with my back and everything this week, my neck, my leg, I decided to wait maybe till next weekend because I was trying to get my videos done and get up before the first of the month. Because October 1st is going to be the deadline on getting your time in and your views in for the month, for your paycheck for the month. So the end of the month, I'm always pushed to get videos and something posted to get my views in so I can get a halfway decent paycheck. Country Cootie said, "Hello, missed you. I missed y'all too." I just found out today I have to replace my roof. I have a hole in it that was that I was unaware of. Oh no. And that's going to be pricey. They don't replace a roof for nothing, you know. I mean, oh goodness. I feel for you. And I noticed today that my sink underneath the seal is kind of crusted and rusted. It's been rusting around the sink where the drain goes in for a long time now. But you know, that sink is 50 some years old. This is a 1969 model mobile home. So that sink has been there since 1969. I've replaced pipes and stuff, but I've never replaced the drain. And I don't know if it could be replaced because it's rusted. And these are like metal um sinks and tubs and all that in this house. They're not porcelain unless you replace them to be porcelain. They're a metal with baked enamel paint on top. But hey, I can't complain. It's lasted for so many years. I mean, you get 50 some odd years out of a sink without having problems with it. I think you're doing good. Yeah, anything's bound to wear out. And there's Too Tall Rob. Hi there. How's Too Tall Rob doing? Keeping those raccoons in check, I'm sure. Just got home with a few fresh peaches from the market. Oh, fresh peaches sound real good. Yeah, I had bought a stainless steel sink that I want to replace it with several years ago. I just never did do it because I have, you know, it was working okay. I didn't have to replace it. So I said, well, it doesn't look real good, but, you know, I'm not going to replace it till I have to. And I said, I do have a sink to go in there when I do need it. I tried to get one exactly like this sink that's flat with the counter, but they said they don't make them anymore. So the one I got has like a little, you know, it comes up over the counter and then kind of sits on the counter. I'm hoping it'll work. I mean, it's a brand new sink. I bought the sink and the drains and everything to go with it several years ago. If not, I guess I'll just try to sell it and get one that will work here. I don't know. And there's Jana Jacob. Hello. And Dennis. Hello. You like my cat video, Dennis? Hi, this is Brooklyn, the grand. Oh, okay, Brooklyn, you're Dennis's granddaughter. Well, welcome to our chat. And there's Connie. Hi, Connie and Pam. We got quite a few people in here for a spur of the moment live. Too Tall Rob, he said he's in the basement. I've been watching some of your videos. They're so cute. He's got some with the raccoons in the swimming pool, and oh, you have to watch them to, I mean, to really get a grip on how neat they are. If you're an animal lover, you will love Too Tall Rob's videos. Pam says my house was built in 1969 too. So you know what I mean? If everything has lasted since then, since that house is built, you can't complain about something breaking down or needing to be replaced. It's 50 some years old, so hey, you can't complain about it. And there's Teresa Rep. Welcome, Teresa. You're never late. We just been in here chatting and waiting for people to get in here. Late but here again. Well, like I said, you're not late. You're never late as long as you show up. I didn't even look.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm
How
in
are
the
you
basement,
doing?
backstage, wherever you want to call it.
Oh, you said that's what you meant. I didn't even look over there because I wasn't
Yeah,
expecting
and
anybody.
I'm in the basement with fresh peaches. Ooh, look
Oh,
at
they
them
look
3 feet.
good. Oh
Five
my goodness.
dollars.
Huh?
$5.
Wow. I need to
Look,
go check out a local market around here somewhere.
yeah, we got a local farmer that has a market going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did it one time here in Granbury, but the drought was so bad last year that we didn't even have any of the gardeners selling anything. There was a
yeah.
couple of people there with
There's where the magic
jalapenos and stuff like
happens.
that. Do what?
So
Oh,
this is where the magic happens.
yeah, that's your playground.
Yeah, there's all my stuff. I just sold a '84 Chevy truck. I still got 2 minivans for sale, but I'm
Oh
looking to
wow.
buy a new one. Yeah, I
What
got me a little
what model
Dodge
and
truck.
year? What model and
Huh?
year are your minivans?
Uh, one's a Chrysler Town and Country special edition, all leather. It's $400. It's a 2002 maybe. And I think the Dodge Grand Caravan cloth interior, it's $800, and or no, 600. I think it's a 2002. Both vehicles need a little work, but good, reliable grocery getters, for something local.
Yeah, someone that can do the minor repairs themselves. Like me, I couldn't do the little minor repairs. So I have to get
Yeah,
something that I know somebody else can fix for me. Like my
yeah,
car. I went out there to go to the post office yesterday. My bobber wouldn't open the door. It was dead. So I took the key and opened the door, got in, put the key in the ignition. It was deader than a doornail. And I said,
yeah,
it can't be the battery. I just replaced it with a new battery this past January. So the battery is
yeah,
not even a year old. So
yeah, yeah,
I called
yeah,
Nissan and I told them I had, the battery was under warranty. I've got insurance on the car to cover stuff. So I finally called the insurance company. They sent a tow truck already paid for. Uh, he jumped me off because he said, I can't get that car up on this flatbed. It's too big. And with that privacy fence across the street, he can't turn around enough to be able to get the car up on it. So he said, let me try
huh,
to jump it off and see if it'll start. That way you can just drive it out there.
right.
So he had one of those portable things that you jump them off with, and it started right up. So I drove it to
Yeah,
Nissan and told him, I said, well, he didn't have to tow it out here because he jump started it. It started right up. And they said, well, it probably is the battery. I said, well, if you'll check your records, I bought a new battery in January. It shouldn't be the battery. You know what
yeah.
they finally decided it
Now,
was?
Linda, Linda,
Huh?
how long was it? How long was it left sitting since January?
I drive it at least a couple of times a week.
Okay.
I
Then
don't
yeah,
drive
I
it
mean,
every day, but yeah, I'm out in town or running around doing something a couple of times a
yeah.
week at least.
So you're putting an hour or two on it a couple times a week.
Well, maybe I don't know if it's an hour, but combined it may
Yeah.
be. I don't know.
Well, I mean, how long does it take you to get to town and do what you got to do and get home? How
Well,
much
our
time you
traffic
driving?
with our traffic, it takes me about 15 minutes to get out there, maybe a few minutes longer to run around the different stores, and then at the same time to get
Mm.
back. So, yeah, it's probably
So
close to
maybe,
an hour each trip.
yeah, actually, uh, you could have something draining your battery,
Well, that's what
a
I was
radio,
thinking.
a radio,
And
or your.
the
So
only,
sometimes those lights don't automatically go off right and run your battery down. You know how you get in and
well,
out of your
mine
car
is
and the
set.
lights come on?
My lights, the headlights, they're set for delayed cutoff. So
Yeah,
when I get out of the car, it shines the light up my sidewalk so I can see to get in the house. But then
right, right,
shortly
right.
after that, the lights go out.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've
So
never had it
sometimes
do.
they, yeah, I
I've never
mean,
had
have
it
you
do
ever
this
caught it not
before.
doing it?
Yeah, I thought about it, but I said I shouldn't have to because I've
Yeah.
had this car since 2018, and I've never had that problem.
Now, another
Excuse
thing
me.
would be might need to clean and replace your battery connections and make sure they're good and tight and clean. And it might be time to replace a positive cable, maybe.
Well, when they put the new battery in, you could look at that old battery. It was all corroded. It had the cables corroded. It looked terrible. And I told him, I
Yeah.
said, y'all need to, when you clean the cables and stuff this time, if you don't replace any of them, I said, you need to spray some of that stuff on the cables that
Oh,
keeps it from
you got to do
corroding.
a little more than spray some stuff on it, but that's a good start. Spray them off, and then you
Yeah.
got to brush them out. Uh,
Well, they cleaned
typical
them the last
typical
time.
professional service. Yeah, you stick the little brush in there and spin it around a couple times, shine up the innards.
Well, they went ahead and they said the battery was drained. It needed to be charged. So they charged it. It had a full charge when I left the dealership yesterday. And
Yeah,
they said, you don't drive it enough to keep it charged up. I said, excuse
yeah.
me? I've driven this car since 2018. I've never had this problem except one time when the battery was dead because it was old and I had to
Now,
replace the battery, which was in
my
January.
my mother with her Cadillac, she had the same thing that she just wasn't driving it enough to charge it up for her little trips to town. And so once a week, my brother would stop and trade vehicles and drive mom's Cadillac around at work showing off.
Well, since I started my YouTube videos, most of my stuff I'm doing at home. So I'm not out running around. So the car will sit there for a day or two at a time.
Yeah.
But I do drive
Now,
it.
now, now, what we did for a little solution for mother's car, we found you'll have to go shopping online or O'Reilly's or somebody can order you one, but it's a solar battery charger. And you plug it into your cigarette lighter and you put your little charger on the dash where the sunlight gets it, and it keeps the current charged for your battery through the sun.
I've never heard of one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll spend maybe 40, $50 for one of them, but for one of them cars that sit around and don't get drove much, yeah,
Well,
it, it takes a lot.
I
It
was
takes a
thinking
lot of
kind of like
electricity
Connie
to.
said. Connie had
Yeah,
mentioned that, sometimes some of those batteries sit in the shelf at the dealership for a long time before they're ever put
yeah,
in a car. And
and
she said you may have got
they're
one
not
that was been
topped off
sitting
and
there.
charged.
Yeah,
They're
she
not
said you
topped
may have
off
got
and
one that
charged
was
when they're
sitting there
sold.
for a long time. And I said, I don't know what it was, but I bought a new battery. That's what
Have
they were
you
supposed to
ever
put in there.
Have you
So,
ever, there's a relay switch and a alternator. Have you ever changed those?
well, no, I bought this car new and I've only got 21,000 miles on it so far.
Yeah, and it's a 2018.
Yeah,
So that's 6 years. Yeah, it's time for an alternator to go out or relay switches and stuff.
but I've got one of those extended new car wrap warranties on it, and this is a
Yeah,
lifetime. So if anything goes out on it, they're going to have to fix it.
yeah.
And I got it because I knew the repair bills on these new cars are something astronomical.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
You
I
know,
just I bought my Lincoln Navigator and I took it to the shop to fix a couple things. A couple other things are wrong. And I told him, look, I don't want to see the damn thing until it's safe enough for your mom to drive to Chicago and back. Yeah, this is how much I got to spend. And I'm tell you what, he ate that up pretty good. But now I got some money saved up. I could spend another $1,000 so I can have the heater working in my Lincoln. But yeah, thirty
well, see,
five hundred dollar car. Thirty
my
five hundred
AC,
dollar car cost me $4,500 in repairs.
well, they told me when I took out that extended lifetime warranty on it, wrap warranty, they said it's just like a brand new car warranty, only it's a lifetime one. And I paid
Yeah.
dearly for it. But I
Oh,
knew
I
later down the road, I couldn't afford the repair bills on this car, you know. So
yeah,
I paid it up front to where I don't have to pay later. And they
yeah.
told
Pay
me
a little
then, they
bit
said,
now, and it's taken care of later. Yeah,
right. And they told me, they said, well, it doesn't matter how long you have this car. They said, if the AC goes out in it, we got to replace it and it's not going to cost you anything.
yeah.
The heater goes
Sweet.
out, same thing. So I said, yeah. I said, I may
Yeah,
not ever get another car, but this one's in good shape and I'm not having to drive it to work every day.
yeah. Hell, I might have to consider what they tell me I need to build some credit. Here I got a solid income coming, pretty good income. I got more money coming. I got money stashed in the bank for down payment or whatever. Uh, I don't have no credit score.
Huh.
Big fat fucking zero for a credit score.
Well, don't you pay electric bills?
Yeah, yeah. I
That
guess I
should go
didn't run
towards your
that.
credit. Anywhere you pay a monthly bill.
Yeah, but sometimes I forget to pay the light bill until they're calling up and going, "Hey, we're going to cut you off next week if you don't get up." Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I
but you
forget
pay
to
it,
call.
right? You
Yeah,
still
I
pay it.
forget to
So
call in and pay it.
that's what matters is that it is paid.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I mean, they as long as they ain't taking you to court, it doesn't really hurt too bad.
anytime you make some type of a monthly payment for the cost of
Oh no,
living,
no, it might go two or three
that is your
months.
credit right there.
It might go 2 or 3 months before they call me and go, "Hey, Rob, you forget about us?" No, think about you every time I turn the light on.
Well,
Well, you
one
gonna be
time
thinking of us if that switch goes on and nothing happens. You better send us some money.
my Spectrum bill for the Wi-Fi, the internet, and everything, I usually pay it every single month. As soon as I get that statement in the mail, I pay it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
there was one month there that I didn't get the statement, so I neglected to pay it. They didn't
yeah.
notify me. They didn't call me that it was due or anything. But when I went in to pay the next month bill, it had the previous bill up there, so it was double the amount.
Well, you
And
didn't with no interest or late charges.
and I paid it. You know, I went ahead and paid it.
Yeah,
And then I
but
called
did
them.
they?
I said, "What's going on?" You know, and they said, "Well, you'll just not have to pay anything the next month if you overpay." Because I figure, you know, for some reason they didn't credit me with the last month's statement, and I'm had just double paid this for this
If
month.
you didn't send me a bill, I guess it was free.
Right? Yeah, I don't like to go with the email where they send your statement through the email? Because I don't
Uh,
always check my emails either. I wait till it
I
comes
don't
in the
like
mail
that either.
and I
I
pay
don't
my
like
bill.
that auto pay. But
No, I don't.
T-Mobile's got me with the auto pay. But I tell you what, they're pretty good to do business with. They,
Well, yeah. Now my
sometimes
phone.
when I got issues, sometimes they credit me with a free month of service. Sometimes if the issue's pretty good, but I pay $50 for the home internet box that you can connect up to 30 devices, the T-Mobile home internet. And then I pay 65 for the telephone service. That gives me a free phone and that service and stuff. That's $65. That's a senior and veteran discount, but I think about anybody can get it. But you know what, 120 a month.
Yeah,
I
mine's a
got
hundred
all.
and my Wi-Fi, the internet, TV, phone is
Yeah,
138. And I kept it on the bundle because I was getting it cheaper. I didn't even need the house phone. I was going to get rid of it. And they said, no, keep it. It's only 19.99 a month for your house phone. And you'll be able to get the bundle where you get it a lot cheaper than you would get it separately. So
right.
I kept it all.
Yeah. Well, since you're one of these YouTube ballers, you got to have all your devices up and running.
Yeah. I mean, that's your job right
Uh,
there. I mean, if your internet goes down, you can't do anything
yeah,
unless you can get somewhere that where you can tap into their internet.
yeah. That's what I like about that mobile hotspot. Now, see, also have unlimited telephone and service, but I also have unlimited hotspot. So, when my internet goes out, I can hit the hotspot button and I connect my security device cameras or my uh, laptop to it. And my
Right.
telephone turns into a internet modem or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I have that hotspot too, but I don't usually ever have to use it because mine is usually on all the time.
Hmm.
They might drive me crazy with upgrades and stuff, but other than that,
Yeah.
it's usually on.
Like I say, really, unless you're using other devices and stuff out in the world, you really don't need the hotspot unless you've really got
Right. I hardly ever
other
use it.
devices. Yeah. And so if you don't use it, go ahead and drop it. I think with T-Mobile, I think that takes $10 off of my bill if I didn't have the unlimited mobile hotspot.
Well, anytime I leave home, my phone automatically connects to somebody else's Wi-Fi anyway. And
Yeah.
the city's got it's a lot better Wi-Fi than I've got.
Yeah.
But if I leave Granbury and go other places, it's not as good.
Yeah. Well, I got to get in. I got some vegetables cooking in the crock pot with some pork roast. And got my peaches.
Well, that
And think
sounds
I
good.
might think I might do me a little cobbler tonight. Or in the middle of the night, I'll make it. That way I got to turn the heat on. Strategic cooking.
Well, it's not cold enough for heat here yet. It's in the
I'll
90s
tell you what,
during the day.
when we're getting some of them 50-degree nights, it's like no, I don't like being cold.
Yeah, I don't like being cold either, but it's still pretty warm here at night. It's 81 degrees right here now.
Like I say,
And
I got old bones, and I'm not well insulated like other people. That kind of on the thin side.
you'll have to do
That's
like I
that
did.
kind that
Get your
kind of works
electric
out
blanket,
pretty good going to these church potlucks and stuff.
right?
Man, they be sending me home with leftovers and stuff. Look a little thin, Rob. Here's okay.
You'll have to get you an electric blanket for these cold nights. I keep one on my bed.
You know,
I
I
don't,
I I don't like the electric blanket, but something I learned with this piece of shit house I got that I got cold air coming up from the floor.
Mm,
Yeah, we gotta, just call it like it is. Pardon my language, but telling the truth, like a piece of shit landlord that won't do nothing, won't even caulk windows. But
mm. That makes it
I
bad.
put I put a lamp under my bed with a 25-watt light bulb, and that heats up my mattress just nice when it's. Now there was one night it was 11 degrees outside, throwing and blowing. Right, my thermostat on the heater was set at 75. The nightstand at the foot of my bed with the TV on it was reading 65 degrees at the top of that stand, about 3 foot off the ground. The glass of water with a thermometer in it under my bed was reading 38 degrees.
Whew, that's cold.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's a piece of shit work. That's a piece of shit landlord.
Goodness.
Oh my
Well,
goodness,
you
looky here.
definitely need an electric blanket. It
You
seems
know it's
good to
cold.
me to turn that
You
thing
know it.
on and warm my bed up, crawl in it, and then I can turn the blanket off and it keeps me warm all night.
There's my skunk buddy. Hey, buddy. Can you see the skunk? He's right there by the step by that orange cone.
I can see him, but barely.
He's coming out.
He's looking for some goodies up there on that banister.
No, he's down there on the ground.
Yeah, I know he's on the ground, but he'll be up there on that railing before long.
No,
If
they
you get,
they haven't made it up there yet.
oh, they haven't. Well, maybe
No,
there's
no,
a
they.
certain time of the evening that you usually feed them. So
Yeah, usually about sundown till 3 o'clock.
that's a skunk, isn't it?
Yeah.
I see him. He's walking behind that little table and stuff.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna change locations here and get up close if I can.
I got skunks coming around here once in a while, but I don't encourage them to stay because I don't want them spraying around my yard. I don't like to smell them. And that smell lingers forever.
Actually, about 2 days. Hey, dude, you'll be on YouTube. Hey, Purdy. You
Yeah, they
Purdy
are.
thing.
Raccoons and skunks are actually pretty animals. You never dream a skunk smells as bad
What
as
are you
he does.
doing, man? Yeah, don't squirt me. Just step aside. I'm gonna go up here on the porch. You keep your tail down. Yeah. Then just step back, Jack. I'm going this way. You go that way. There we go. Good dude. Hey man, what are you doing? There's Patchy. Hi, Patchy. Say hi to Linda. Say hi, Linda. I've been eating here for about 5 years and I still won't let Rob pet me.
Oh, look at this. Connie says when they lived in a drafty house, they put heavy plastic on the floor and covered them with throw rugs
Yeah.
to help keep the heat in. I never would have thought of that. I mean, I've seen people put plastic on their windows to keep the cold draft from coming in. I never thought
Well,
about the floor.
I think doing a sealer on the floor. Like I say, I'm trying to buy this house, but I don't have the financing for a mortgage. And I was told not to buy the thing outright. So got a little bit of a predicament.
Yeah, you don't want to put a lot of money in something you don't actually own yet.
Well, I mean, if I can take a loan on it and keep my money in my pocket and spend it fixing it up so it is livable.
Yeah, that's a little bit different. That's one
Like
reason I'm
say,
trying to put my second floor on my house. And I've got it through half the house already. But I've got one bedroom, one bathroom, and the kitchen and living room still to put the wood on. But doing that makes a world of difference with your heat and cooling. Just putting the roof on that I put on, it cut my heating probably 40%.
hey, how about that T-shirt, huh? Got the M&Ms,
I
dollar
see that.
95 at my favorite DAV thrift store. And there's Diamond Dog. Diamond. Well, Barky Bark. You don't want to see this part. Well, do your
Connie said
business.
that skunks were pretty, and she said you could have their stink glands removed. They're like cats.
Yeah.
Huh. That'd be
Well,
neat to have a skunk as a pet, as long as he couldn't stink you
uh,
up.
if you look on the Too Tall Rob channel, um, oh gosh, I still can't reach up like that. I tore my rotator cuff. I fell on my porch coming home last 4th of July. It was raining and I was stepping fast, and them wet porch boards they're slicker than snot during the rain.
Right.
You know, down I went and jacked up my shoulder,
Oh no.
and just other litigation for the landlord one day. And see, there was a time that I was getting government assistance paying the rent and in one of these VA housing programs. And I documented how they were fraudulently inspecting and renting and collecting rent for piece of shit houses that do not qualify. This landlord I've got has about 90 units that a lot of them are under the housing authority, and that inspector just walks in and walks out 20 minutes talking shit. It passes. Took 4 years for him finally to write down this place needs a handrail on that back porch.
Hmm.
Can you believe?
Well, the government's not too quick.
Well, government's quite corrupt, you know,
That's true as well.
and it's it ought to be criminal. I mean, that's just like straight up robbery. That you're stuck in a contract and you're operating in good faith, paying your rent, but this man is dedicated nothing but ain't fixing nothing. What he won't even plastic the windows. I'm not going to, because under the federal contract, I can't hang plastic. It's violation of fire safety. Plus, the
Hmm.
place is supposed to be up to standards and it should have windows that don't leak air or
Exactly.
floors. And like I say, I documented all this, and the housing authority still comes in and it passes.
He
And
doesn't want to fix it all because it'll cost him money. That'll dip into his profit from rent.
yeah, that's what he is. And well, now when you're operating in a conspiracy with other people to defraud the federal housing program, you now have a crime.
Exactly.
And when you're knowingly and willfully neglecting your maintenance and you're continuing to rent property without handrails, knowing that the handrail rule, there's another veteran that's fallen off of his porch 3 times that I was called to the rescue, and he needed to go to the hospital and stayed for at least a week or two.
Oh my goodness.
So we have bodily injury and pain and suffering. And this man knows that he's supposed to have a handrail if he has more than 2 steps. Hell, there's some places you can't buy a house unless it's got a handrail.
Wow.
When necessary. Where this one guy I know that that was a hold up on the sale of his house. He said, yeah, it prolonged the sale of my house 2 months. For the time they inspect it and they say, oh, it needs a handrail before it sells. And the landlord getting the news and they have to get it done. And boom, there's 2 months down the road that we didn't get to move into the house yet.
No, Dennis, I'm not the guest. Too Tall Rob is. He's informing us about some of this VA stuff. And it's
Yeah.
interesting because I know the veterans are getting a bad shape. They're not
Oh,
treated the way
yeah.
they should be.
I just telling a story. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, educate yourself on your rights as far as, if you're renting with housing authority, educate yourself on the code standards of the property you're renting. That, it's supposed to have adequate handrails and doorknobs. You know,
Well, he
but
doesn't
yeah,
repair stuff because he knows he can get away with it.
yeah,
If the
yeah,
government was more strict with people that own the property that's supposed to take care of those problems, you wouldn't have the
yeah,
problem.
yeah. But I guess what these people must be corrupt or something. But I'm not the only person that sees scam and crime in this. But
Oh,
I've
a
got
lot
I've
of
got, I've
people
got my
see it.
congressman. They're doing some looking into this stuff, and I've provided them a lot of videos. I'll have my telephone in my shirt pocket recording the house inspector come by and not do his job.
Grandma Teresa says you should go through the health department. Huh.
They take your complaint and never call back.
Oh, really?
Yep, I've recorded them phone calls.
They just put it on the back burner.
And just, okay, well, somebody get back in touch with you. I'll
And
tell
they
you what,
never
I
do.
about went crazy when I found out my landlord uses oven cleaner. He takes the air conditioner out and cleans them up with the garden hose, but he sprays them down with oven cleaner and then he rinses them off. But you still taste that oven cleaner in the air 2 weeks later. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my goodness, that's not good. You
Uh,
shouldn't be breathing that stuff.
well, what does it say on that can of oven cleaner?
I don't use
Federal
oven
law
cleaner.
for
I'm
federal law
allergic
for
to it.
cleaning ovens only. Must be ventilated area.
The one and only
Yeah.
time I used the oven cleaner, it gave me bronchitis because I was allergic to it and
Uh,
irritated my chest so bad I ended up with
I got
bronchitis.
COPDs, and yeah, I'm glad that air conditioner went to squirt anyway, plus I complained about it enough. And I got in the landlord's face about I should be talking to a doctor, but I think you better replace that damn air conditioner real quick.
Yeah, he should
And
not be using anything like that in the air
he,
conditioner
he
because
was
that's
there the
something you're going
next
to
day
breathe
with a
later.
brand new air conditioner.
Good for you.
Yeah. And I did document them phone calls to the health department, and they'll have somebody get back in touch. I said, lady, I've got the video evidence that this is uh, a crime, federal law. Of course, I called the FBI too. I called the VA hospital police the other day. I said, can you do a welfare check? Yeah, see what's going on here on one of your employees. Well, what do you mean? I said, I've been trying to get a hold of this patient representative for the last year. I've called 3 times in the last 6 months and left messages. He ain't calling back. I told the cop, I said, I seen the story on the news at the bank that some girl was dead at her desk for over 4 days
Yeah, and I can't
before they.
imagine that. I
But I
cannot
just,
imagine.
just kind of for shits and grins, I called the VA police and asked them to do a welfare check to see where is your patient representative. Is he in there dead? Is he cashing his checks? Is he even doing his job? Is he, dead at his desk? That cop thought I was serious. Thought I was kidding. I said, no, sir, I'm serious as a heart attack, and I expect a phone call within 2 hours of some kind of update of his condition and situation. And you know what? I never heard from the cop or the patient rep.
Goodness.
I've even had my doctor send him an email to contact this veteran. He has some issues that need to be addressed. Topeka,
Dennis
Kansas,
is wanting
VA.
to know
I ain't
why
got
the
nothing
flag
good to.
is upside down.
Yeah, that's love my country, but with the shit I'm going through, I think I'm under distress. Just, out of kindness for my neighborhood, I don't hang it out on my porch like that. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
definitely, definitely on my social media platform, I'll happily have it back there. Ain't really talk about it. You know what that means. You know what that means. And if you heard half of my stories, you'd probably fly yours upside down too.
Teresa says, could be country in distress, flag upside down. So I guess that is what
Country
it
or
is, right?
yeah, yeah,
It's a sign of distress.
yeah,
I never knew
yeah.
that.
Yeah, Google it. It's amazing what that. I couldn't believe. I was talking to my mom one day, Linda. I was always calling her. I called her up one day. Hey, mom, uh, can you write down and take a picture or send me? Take a picture of the recipe for your peanut butter cookies. She had this peanut butter cookie bar. Oh my God, it was so good. And she goes, you can just Google it. I said, they got your recipe on Google? No, I don't think so. Well, then why do I want it? I want your recipe. She said, just Google Betty Crocker, peanut butter cookie thing and just double the recipe and throw it on a big sheet pan and try to feed all the kids.
There's Virgo Boy, 48. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use a lot of
Uh,
Betty Crocker recipes because that was my one very first cookbook was a Betty Crocker cookbook that I got many, many years ago, and I still
I'll
use
tell
it.
you what, I mean, if you're thinking about your health and if you're thinking about what you're eating, and if you're wondering how quick your government's trying to kill you, not that I'm one of those conspiracy guys, but there's something interesting I found that I posted on my community page uh, that definitely take a look at, even if, especially if you're a diabetic or something, but
Hmm.
like, wow, wow.
Yeah, people don't realize what they're eating today.
Yeah, yeah. I damn sure like my farmer's market even more.
A lot of it's convenient foods and processed foods is exactly why so many people are sick.
Well, you won't believe the education you'll get about your beef and chicken industries too.
Oh, I can
And,
imagine.
this boy in the video even throws down all the financial gains and the government players and yeah, them trying to kill us.
Hmm.
Strategic. Uh, well, I mean, it's just like what they did with the Indians. How do you control the masses? Control their food.
Right.
Control the food. You control their money. Yeah,
Control
yeah.
everything.
It's like wow, America, yee-hoo. We've done all this, and we fight for other people's freedoms.
Yeah, and
Makes me nervous.
you wonder why sometimes they call it the land of the free.
They misspelled it. There's that somebody screwed up, put that R in there. It's supposed to be land of the fee.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah. What you've been getting was a misprint. Actually, a friend of mine on YouTube, he's getting a little older and a little grumpy now, family man and everything. He just put out some T-shirts with flag on it says "America, Land of the Free." Like I think I've seen that shirt before, but yay for you, make $1 on it. Well, girl, I gotta get busy. It's time to eat something, get these critters fed. I'm sure I need to refill, or I'll be losing screens on the window or something. Let
Right.
us in. We know there's good stuff in there.
They'll be digging a hole through the wall to get in to get some food.
Yeah. Well, actually, they get to scratching out the door. Diamond just sit there and has a talk with them, and they kind of like, "Oops, don't knock on that door." There's a big dog behind that one.
Right.
All right, honey. You have a good night. Good seeing you. It's even more fun talk. This chat shit, man, kind of sucks, but you're good
Right. It's
people,
good to
Linda.
get
Love
people up
you.
here and actually talk to them.
Yeah.
You have
All
a good
right.
night.
You too, hon.
Well, that was kind of enlightening and informative because I didn't know that about hanging the flag upside down like that was a sign of distress. Yes, thank you for your service, Rob. I think let's see, two of my brothers were in the Army. My dad was in the Navy. My granddad was in the Army. My uncles, some of them were in the Army. So I've got a lot of family that was in the service. It's a disgrace the way they treat. Exactly, Connie. It's a big disgrace the way they treat our veterans. They go over there, they fought, they gave their, some of them gave their lives. Some of them came back with disabilities and impairments and amputees and all this because they fought for our freedom. And then a lot of them are living out on the street because they don't have enough money to live on, or they're going through what Too Tall Rob is saying. You're renting a house that needs so many repairs. And when you tell the landlord to do something, which he should do by law, he's obligated to do, but doesn't, that makes it bad. But it's been going on ever since day one, I guess. So not a whole lot you can do about it, but gripe about it and hope somebody will do something, which a lot of times they never do. Yeah, Shelley. A lot of people out there, a lot of family fought in one war or another, or they were just in the service and they gave a lot of time. They risked their lives to do what the government wanted them to do. Now the government needs to take care of their veterans. I mean, if they can give it all to these illegals coming into the country, I mean, you can't say it's Mexicans anymore. It's people from all over the world. Looks like every country's coming in. And if they can give them all this free stuff, by God, give it to our veterans. Yeah, it's a shame. But all you can do is kind of like Rob's doing. All you can do is protest, complain to the landlord, and hope if you complain enough or report it to enough people that have authority that sooner or later something will be done. Exactly. Our local VA hospital was housing units on the property. has housing units on the property. And our homeless veterans are made to sleep in tents on the lawn, and they won't let them in, and the housing is most not. That's crazy. They should take some of these old abandoned buildings that could be converted to apartment buildings with a little bit of renovation and house veterans there. I mean, if they can put these illegals up in a hotel or motel or apartment or wherever they're putting them up for a month for free, they can do something for our veterans. I think our veterans have first priority over the illegals coming into the country. I'll get off my soapbox. I know I'm not a veteran, but I see a lot of it that goes on. I know friends, neighbors that were veterans, um, and things just weren't right. I mean, they were not treated the way they should be treated. I mean, some of our veterans, they get a check every month, but usually it's not enough. Just like Social Security, people living on Social Security, it's not enough to take care of them. You have to live in a house where there's maybe two people on Social Security or something. It's where you got two checks coming in to make ends meet. And I said I was going to get off my soapbox. I didn't want to get onto that. But anyway. On the property, and our homeless veterans are made to sleep in tents. Well, they won't let them. Housing is not occupied. Yeah, it's horrible. But with that said, I'm going to get on to the sewing tip that I had for people tonight. Have you ever bought PJs like these, long pants, and the legs are too long? And seem like if you want to cut them off and make them shorter, you get them too short. Well, I found a solution to it because usually they're always hemmed already. They've got some kind of a little hem or a wide hem in them. And mine is about, well, let's see. There's about a quarter of an inch hem that the hem would be open all the way around. And I like to take this real thin elastic. It's about a quarter-inch elastic. And I cut just enough to go around the hem of that bottom, around the hem. I insert it inside. And then I secured it one end. You have to cut it open. Find where your seam is on just one side of it and cut a hole big enough that you can insert your elastic in it. And then I take a safety pin, one big enough that you could put up in that hem. If you get one too big, it's not going to go. But you put it on the end of your elastic, close it, and then just thread it through your hem. And you don't have to have it tight when you get it in there. You just want it tight enough that it's going to rest at your ankles, but not enough to like be tight on your ankles. You just want it just enough that it loosely fits around your ankle, so the hem of your pants don't go to the floor. Almost like a pair of harem pants, with a gathered bottom. I'll show you as soon as I get this elastic put through there. Usually there's one side of the hem that you can push the elastic all the way through that hem. And the other side is sewed in the seam. So you have to cut two little slits, one to run the elastic in and one to run the elastic out. Like I'm doing. And then you can cut your elastic off, take a needle and thread and stitch that elastic together where you cut it. And I got little buddy scratching at the door. He's been fed, he's had treats, but he wants more treats. He's spoiled. Y'all, little buddy is spoiled rotten. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it that much, I think. Cut it off. Pull it through enough that you can work with it without losing the end of your elastic, like I almost just did. Then you can take your take your needle out. You can put your two ends of your elastic together. And just stitch it together. I was going to have to do this anyway because I got tired of the legs of these pajamas being too long. And I said, I know it's going to be cool enough to be wearing these pretty soon. And I said I needed to do it. So I thought I'd go and do it on the live. So maybe if some of you have run into the same problem, you're a shorty like me, this might be a little tip that you could do with yours. So you don't have to have a sewing machine. You don't have to have anything but needle and thread and a pair of scissors and a little bit of elastic. And I overstitch it. I make sure it's not coming loose because I don't want my elastic coming loose in there. I can't see the chat. This thing is not keeping it uploaded. Janice says, I don't sew. You don't have to sew to be able to do this. All you got to do is stick the needle in, pull it through a couple of times, and you're sewing. You got it done. Now, see, I did that. It's plenty loose. So it's going to rest on the top of my foot, my ankle. But it's tight enough that they're not going to go down under my feet or to the floor. And if I have to, once I put them on one time and try them, I may want to, go right back to where I put that elastic in because I'm not stitching the hole up yet. I can always pull that elastic back out, cut it off, stitch it again, and make it tighter if I need to. But I'm going to leave it like this and just try it and see how that works first. Yeah, you don't have to be able to sew. You don't have to be a sewing genius or anything else to be able to do this. Like I said, just find the side of you got two seams on each side of your leg. There's one that's just turned over and sewed, and you can pull it apart and see if that elastic will go through there, and that side it will. This side it won't. So I'm going to cut this side, and this is the side I'm going to run my elastic through. I mean, you can do any kind of pants this way, actually. Kind of like sweatpants, you know how they fit around your ankles? Well, that's what I'm doing with my PJ pants. Let me get the other side in. Yeah, you don't have to have a sewing machine or anything to do this. Just needle and thread, scissors, and a little bit of elastic. People that have never sewed anything before can do this. See, I'm just going to run it through that side. Get it in the hole. I mean, I could have went to the trouble to cut them off, hem them up, but that's too much work. This is a lot easier, and it works just as good. It also kind of helps keep your pants leg down on your leg when you're in the bed at night. You know how sometimes your pants leg gets all the way up to your thighs almost? Well, this kind of helps hold them down. And see, it's not taking me forever to do it either. I'm so glad Too Tall Rob dropped in tonight. He's interested. His animals are interested too. Or I say his animals, they're basically his. He feeds them, he takes care of them. Try to get both of these the same. Or about the same. And I'm just going to sew my elastic together just like I did the other one. I just take the two ends, put them together, and start stitching them together. You don't have to be fancy with the stitch. Just put it in, whip it around, put it back in, pull it out. Just stitch it down to where it'll stay together. That's all. Doesn't care how it looks, because it's going to be inside the pants leg. You're not going to see it, because that piece of elastic is going to go right up in the hem, and you're not even going to see it. So you don't have to be fancy with it. Put that pin on the end of that. So there you go. I got this one. We'll put that elastic right up in the inside. So you don't even see the elastic. And see, you don't take it up much. It's just gathered a little bit. It's just gathered up a little bit. But it's enough that if your pants leg is too long, it's going to sit up on your ankle and stay there. It's not going to fall down to the floor, hopefully. Now, if you got your elastic too tight, too loose, it will. But like I said, I don't stitch it down until I wear them. I put them on and see how it's going to sit on my ankle. And if it's okay, then I leave it. If it's too loose, then I can pull the elastic out, shorten the elastic a little bit, and stitch it back up. But it's just that easy, y'all. Just that easy to fix a pair of PJs that are too long, or any other casual pants that you want to, that are too long. Now, dress pants, you may not want to do that too, but then there's Tenny, hi Tenny, and Philip, what is that? Filipindo. Welcome. You got to be a new one. I haven't seen your name in our chat before, but welcome. I welcome all the newcomers. But yeah, that was my sewing tip for tonight. It's a simple little trick that anybody can do. You don't have to be an experienced seamstress. You don't, maybe you've never picked up a needle and thread before, but you can do this. You can take a little pair of scissors, cut one side of the little hem, and go right in there with the elastic, sew it together, and there you go. Well, I can't do anything, but through the years, that's a trick that I've came up with, so I didn't have to actually cut pants off and hem them and that type of thing. I just turn them into like a little pair of harem pants, because they're always gathered at the bottom, just like sweatpants are. Most of them have the elastic at the bottom. Well, that's the same way I just did those PJs. Simple, real easy, quick. Don't need a sewing machine. I haven't done any more crocheting. I've been too busy doing everything else. I can't find enough time to do my house, my cooking videos, my garden videos, do my garden. I've got so much to do out there now. It's just unreal. Like I said, I've got to get out there and respray for ants, because the ants have come back invading my yard and my garden. They're all over my okra. So I got to get out there. I don't know if I'll be able to do it tomorrow. I was hoping I'd get time to do it today, but it just didn't happen. It may have to wait till Monday, but I got to get that pepper spray and my sprayer and get out there and spray my plants again, and then spray the rest of the yard. Because every time it rains, it washes that poison and the pepper spray off your plants, whatever you put out there. So then you got to reapply it. And these ants, since I'm on a rock mountain, when it rains for days on end, like it did really hard, they go down deep in the rocks. They go all the way down to China. I mean, they got tunnels everywhere. And then when it quits raining, they surface again. I don't know if the new build caused ants or not, but everybody around here has to fight ants. I mean, there's no exception. Everybody has them. There's Alfonso. Hi, Alfonso. You can get on screen tonight if you want to. I'm on StreamYard. Let me let little buddy in. He keeps scratching at the door. He wants another handful of treats. So I'm going to let him in and give him another handful of treats, I think. He's going to wear his paws out on the door. Come on. Was I ignoring you? I got him a big, one of these 30-ounce containers of cat treats this time. He went through those other ones so fast. I had to order them all the time, so I got a 30 one this time. They're not the catnip, but oh my God, it don't matter. He still loves them. You can't give him enough. But one of my viewers left me a comment on one of my videos, and they told me that they know a lot of people have suggested a lot of different things. But she said one thing that she found that really works, and she had her doubts when she tried it, and that's to take borax and mix it with sugar, half and half, with like the powdered sugar, I guess. Mix it half and half and sprinkle it around where the ants are everywhere, all over your yard. And it said it might take a day or two, but they said the ants will be gone and they will not come back because they will take it to the queen and the queen dies and then the ants leave. Have you already gobbled that handful of treats up, you little stinker? You little stinker. You little stinker. Connie says, yes, borax and powdered sugar. Well, I've used everything else. So I went ahead and ordered me a 2-pound bag of borax from Amazon. They'll deliver it tomorrow. So as soon as I get it, I'm going to mix it up with some powdered sugar and I'm going to get after the ants with it and see what happens. Because I tell you, I'm tired of it. Crafty as Shabby Shack said it does work. Connie says it works. And that one viewer said it worked. She swears by it. So we'll see. I'm putting mine out as soon as I get the borax. And it's daylight. They said it'd be here by 10 p.m. tomorrow. So it may be 9 p.m. before I get it. So then it'll have to wait till Monday. But I'll get it out as soon as I can. Because I tell you, these red ants hurt. They hurt when they bite you. That's why I wear boots out there just about every time. But I went out there today and I forgot and I got bit again. I said, well, that was my fault. I should have had on my boots. And sometimes they'll crawl up my clothes and I don't know they're on me till I get in the house, and then they start biting my neck or they get up my back and bite me on the back. Oh my God, that hurts. Yeah, she said that borax was safe for the pets. It won't bother any of the pets, so that sounds good. My brother that's in Tennessee, he's in Mountain City. They got bad weather, but he's on the side of a mountain. He has no electricity, but he's okay. I guess what flooding is going on is around him, but it's not at his house because he lives on the side of a mountain, kind of like sloped like that. Like his house is sitting here and his yard is slanted down and it goes down to the street. And he refuses to even mow it. He said, I can't mow this yard. So he pays somebody to come mow his yard because of the way it's slanted. He said, I can't do it. And my family in North Carolina, they're doing okay since the last hurricane come through. You know, it flooded all the beaches, Southport, all that area. But my hometown is above ground. I mean, it's above water, so so much for that, you know. But we don't know about this next one. We got another hurricane coming in already. But I tell you what, the county that my brother lives in Tennessee, most of that county is underwater. There's the last count, I think it was 52 people dead in that county alone. In Johnson, the city of Johnson, I think it is, which is not too far from Mountain City. I mean, there is homes that are in water. I mean, they're not even livable. They've set up shelters in surrounding towns. I've got one in Mountain City where people can go, you know, if their house is flooded and all, if they can get there. Part of the time, the roads are impassable. They can't even get into Mountain City. I don't know about Gatlinburg. I was watching a video on YouTube of what was going on today in Tennessee. And oh my God, bridges were washed out, roads are washed out, houses were washed away. I know it. And I don't know, you know, we got another hurricane coming in. God knows what direction it's going to go in. Is it going to hit the coast again like the first one? Or is it going to go back up toward Tennessee the way this one did? I mean, we didn't get any of it here. I'm so far up north in Texas, north central Texas, that usually they kind of go that way away from us. You know, like we could be here and the hurricanes will go that way. So they bypass us. And let's hope it continues that way. I mean, we have our share of tornadoes, storms, hailstorms, that type of thing that does enough destruction. We don't need stuff from a hurricane, too. Heard that from Pinball Prepper. Yeah, they were flying around overhead in a helicopter doing a lot of the video in Johnson City, Tennessee. And it's all the same county where my brother lives. And oh my God, the destruction. Houses totally destroyed that are not completely flooded. I couldn't believe bridges completely gone. I mean, all you see is where they started at each bank of the water. The whole bridge is completely gone. Yeah, so far my family's okay. I've got a cousin that lives out on Oak Island, and he said parts of that area, you know, were flooded from the first hurricane. Some of the roads were impassable, but they were doing pretty good on Oak Island where he's at, where I used to live. And my hometown is only like an hour's drive from there. But my hometown, thank God, did not get flooded. They got a lot of rain, but they didn't get flooded. He's laying down here on the rug in front of the sink, taking it easy after he had his treats, his snack before bedtime, or his bedtime snack, as you can call it. Your grandson is at the army base that got hit. They're all okay and helping the community clean up. Yeah, I mean, oh my God, if you'll watch any of those videos and they're on YouTube, just look it up if you're interested at the flooding for Johnson, Johnson City, Tennessee. Oh, you would not believe the destruction and the flooding that's still there. Oh my God. And they said it came up so fast. I mean, they thought they were being prepared with sandbags and all this other stuff, but the amount of flooding they got, the sandbags didn't help. Well, I'm sure if they're flooded in where he's at the army base, they got videos of it on YouTube. Just look it up on YouTube. Put in that army base's name and just look it up. I guarantee you they've got probably videos on the flooding and the destruction there. Jackie, where is the base at? I don't know if you posted where the base was in Tennessee. What town is it close to? Or what's the name of the army base? I'd kind of like to look it up myself. These storms may. Jackie's gonna look real quick. Yeah, I was trying to bring up video on Mountain City or anywhere close to there that I could get, and Johnson City was the closest one that I brought up. And oh my God, I could not believe the flooding and the destruction there. The whole south part of that county was just basically wiped out almost. All flooded, totally flooded. And you know, if there's 52 or 53 people already confirmed dead in Johnson City as of today, and that was earlier today, you know there's a lot more that were in the path of the hurricane because it hit a lot of other states and counties and cities other than Johnson City. I know I don't remember which one it was. I don't know if it was Johnson City or where, but when I first saw the death toll, it was something like 14, and they said there was a 4-year-old in that 14. But I don't remember the city that was in. Yeah, I feel fortunate. I mean, I'll fight my ants. Maybe I can get rid of them, but at least I'm not hit by the hurricane yet. I haven't been hit really by a tornado yet. I mean, one did rip 2 of the cedar trees limbs off of it, but it didn't rip the tree out of the ground, but it whipped, the big limb off of one of them. That's the reason I've got them cut out there now. That was from a tornado a few years ago. But other than that, I've really not had any damage from a tornado. Knock on wood, and I hope it stays that way. But I've not put my birdhouse back up there because it ripped the birdhouse off the top of it, and it was laying on the ground. And I picked it up, I put it on the patio, and I said, well, sooner or later, maybe I'll repair it and put it back up there, but I haven't done it. Because the birds love that house up there on top of that tree. That it was like, what, 6, 7 foot tall? They liked it up there. The first hurricane flooded the coastline. This second hurricane that just went through went up inland through Tennessee and all that area and flooded everything. Dublin, Georgia, all the whole path going up the United States, the way it went right up through Tennessee. And I'm telling you, it hit land as a category 4, and it did damage. Florida, oh my God. If you haven't seen any of the flooding in Florida, you ought to look that up on YouTube. It's unreal. I mean, North Carolina coastline was badly beat up and flooded by the first hurricane. And then this second one come through and tore up Florida on the other side and did all this destruction going up, up inland. Teresa says, I'm glad my family moved from Florida. They were in St. Petersburg, Clearwater, and Miami. Yeah, Florida might be a nice place to visit if it's not during hurricane season, but I don't know if I'd want to live there. And I thought about that strongly when I lived on Oak Island because, we got hit by some hurricanes, but I only lived there for about a year. So I didn't stay there long enough to see the real bad time when the hurricanes got real bad. But at least my cousin that lives there, he said he's okay. Oak Island's pretty well off. I mean, there's few roads he said that was flooded that you couldn't get in or out the town, like Southport, which is right there beside Oak Island. Yes, please hit the thumbs up if you think about it. Susan got a crazy good deal today at Sam's Club. They had the Ninja Crock Pot 8.5 quart cooker on sale for $89.72 when it was a $134.64 at Walmart. Wow, then you did get a good deal. Well, I've got my food processor thing that my daughter-in-law gave me for Christmas. And then I've still got my Ninja that I use, but I use them for different things. I can use my processor for uh, making bread, bread dough and stuff like that. I can't do that in the Ninja. My Ninja is mostly for chopping stuff or making slushies, that type of thing. Yeah, that is a good deal if you're in the market for a crock pot. I mean, I've got the crock pot I've had for so many years it's ridiculous, and I'll keep using it till it just don't work anymore. It does like 14 different things. Good deal. My main one was you can saute your hamburger and then use it as a crock pot and not dirty another pan. Well, that's good. Yeah. I always like doing that. If I'm cooking something in a big pot and I need to brown meat or onions or something like that, I like the fact that I can do that all in one pot. What are you doing right here at my legs? Huh? What are you doing? Huh? Where'd Alfonso go? Is he still here? I haven't seen him in chat lately. I didn't know if he was still hanging around. I thought he'd come up on stage with me. Yeah, now you got to get busy cooking. The new build home front is off. What were you going to build a new home, Jana? Is that what you're saying? Your new build home is off? They've got one window that's facing my house over here, my lot, and it's about middle way the side, and that's the kitchen window. That front area is the living room where the double windows face the street that you saw. And in the very center, it's almost like a entrance way that you walk into the building to get to the front door. It's kind of weird looking. And I don't know if they're going to put a driveway like up to the door, I think, kind of up beside where that extension is for the living room. And in the center is that little cutout where the front door is. It's kind of like it goes in a little bit, almost like a little pocket where the front door is. So I guess you're walking into a covered area to get to the front door. And I think that's where they're going to put the driveway coming out, basically leading up to the front door. Because there's nowhere else to put the driveway. I know it looks kind of odd, doesn't it? I think it was supposed to be turned the other way, where the kitchen was facing the back, but the size of the lot was only 50 feet, and they've got to have 5 feet on each side clearance between the house and the property line. So they flipped it. They flipped the plans and put it the long way on the lot. So the kitchen is facing the side. The living room is coming out the front. I don't know. It's almost like it's coming out of a hallway. But I think when you open the door, you're going right into the living room area. Let me let little buddy out. He's at the back door. Come on, we'll go out. Maybe if I notice when they get finished with it, I'll make another video of it when they finish it. Get it all cleaned up, maybe have an open house. And maybe I can walk through it with a video. I don't know if they should, because it'd be good advertising for them to sell it. Oh, that's a good deal, Connie, where you can get the air out of the bags, because that makes your bags smaller. I've got a big tote, one of the clear totes in my bedroom, and it's full of yarn. It's got all my yarn in it and my squares that I've made up to this point. So they're safe. They stay clean. They're in a covered tote. But I don't know when I'll get back to doing any more crocheting. I'm too busy with everything else. I don't know. I haven't seen Wilson. He probably doesn't even know I'm live tonight. He should have got a notification though, but I don't know. He may not have. See how long we've been on. Glad you caught me. I'm glad you caught me too, Reba. I'm glad to have you. I'm glad everybody that came into the live tonight, because I was wondering, because this is Saturday night. I don't really do anything on Saturday night except clean or maybe do some laundry or watch TV if I'm real tired, clean the kitchen up. I need to clean my kitchen table off right now. That's the only thing that's really cluttered that shouldn't be cluttered right now. I mean, I've got my drainer full of dishes, but they're clean from where I did a earlier video. So I just need to put my dishes up. They're all clean. I don't have anything dirty in the kitchen. Yeah, my hands are getting bad with arthritis too. So that's one reason I don't know, that with the combination of my allergies, I can only do a little bit at the time because my hands get too stiff. It's hard to hold the yarn. But maybe I'll finish the one I started sooner or later. I don't know where Wilson is. I don't know how to get in touch with him. There's no telling what he's doing tonight. He don't even know I'm live. Oh, he's got a live right now. That's where he is. That's right. He has a live on Saturday night. He usually goes right on till 11 o'clock or so. So, whenever my live's over, y'all could pop in and check on Alfonso. There should be 2 windows on each side. Well, you tell them that, Jana. I gave all my yarn to my sister. Crocheting is hard for me with my arthritis. Oh no, your thumb split open. I know that's painful. What was I going to make? When, Teresa? I did a video earlier that I'm going to post probably tomorrow. That's the one that I had to clean up my mess from. Yeah, I still crochet every once in a while. But like I said, I've just been so busy with the garden, the house, everything else. Like I spent all afternoon at the dealership with my car yesterday because they took the car in to check it. So I'm sitting in the waiting area watching TV in there. I was watching Judge Judy. I love to watch her, so I didn't mind sitting there. And they were supposed to be checking out what was wrong with it. Well, they didn't come in there and tell me that it was the battery. They were charging it. So I sat there and I sat there and I sat there and I almost fell asleep sitting in the chair watching Judge Judy. And then finally the girl come in there and she says, "Oh, we got you all ready, Miss Hauser." She said, "We got your battery all charged up. It should be good now." She said, "You just don't drive it enough to keep it charged." I said, "Well, I've drove it enough for all these years that I bought it in 2018. I said, the only time I've had that problem before is when the battery died and I had to replace the battery because the battery was wore out." I mean, I was driving the car for what, 6 years or so because I just replaced the battery in January of this year. So the battery is the last thing I would have thought it was, but that's what it was. It drained. So I don't know if maybe the alternator's trying to go out and maybe it's not recharging the battery when the car's running. I don't know. But it started up this morning for me. But I never made it to the post office. I'll have to go Monday. I'll go Monday and get the trivia prizes in the mail because I forgot about it this morning. I got busy. I had to run by Walmart and pick up things for tomorrow's video. And then I wanted to do that video that I did earlier to post in the morning. And I just didn't think about getting those trivia prizes to the post office. And I would have had to gotten there before noon today because they close at 12 noon on Saturday. Yeah, that'll do it, Jana. If you wash your hands too much, keep your hands in too much water all the time, it'll dry your skin out and cause your skin to crack. With your squares. Jackie says, I've been trying, but no one home, so I'll send to you later. My memory since illness, I forget too much, but comes to me eventually. Oh my gosh, but we'll send you later. Huh, I didn't know you were going to send anything, Jackie. I usually just put aloe vera on my hands if they start getting too dry. And then I try to stay out of the water. I coat them down good with aloe vera after I dry my hands from washing dishes or whatever I'm doing, when I know I'm not going to immediately put my hands back in water. And that seems to do the trick. Base info for the storm. Aloe care good. Too Tall Rob is going live too. He's got 3 watching his live right now. Oh, I just came by one from Israel. It says Hazan Nasrallah dead in Israel. I can't pronounce it. He's a leader. Hassan. So he must have got hit by some of the missile strikes over there that's been going on. Yeah, I still haven't decided what I'm going to fix with my chicken tomorrow. But I'll come up with something. I mean, Lake Lure in Asheville, or the Lake Lure to Asheville is all flooded. I'm telling you, they got this hurricane all over YouTube, everywhere that it hit. You could spend a long time, just watching the videos of the flooding. Well, I can't find Alfonso. And I forget the name of his channel. It's what is the name of his channel? I forget. Let me look back up here where he was in chat. I'm going to crash his live and he'll think I've ended mine when I'm not. That is, if I can go back that far. It's not going to let me go back that far. There's April. Hi, April. And if you put in just Alfonso, the right one doesn't come up. All these other Alfonsos come up, but not him. Look at this. This is Asheville. Oh, why did it do that? Asheville. It is flooded, y'all. Asheville, North Carolina is totally flooded. I don't know if it shows up very good, but everywhere that hurricane went looks like that. Looks like. I mean, it didn't leave anything in its path dry. Everything that hurricane hit is either tore up or flooded or both. I mean, I don't know what this world's coming to. I mean, you know that the Bible says that the world's going to be destroyed by um what is it? Um Water, fire and brimstone. And it's not far off right now, I'll tell you, the way it's flooded everything, all the states. Yeah, that's unreal in Asheville. And there's more Tennessee. It might be Asheville, Tennessee. Lake Lure to Asheville, flooded. Footage shows damage across North Carolina communities. It's Asheville, North Carolina. That's what I thought it was. So Tennessee, North Carolina, because you know where the all the flooding was in parts of Tennessee runs right down into North Carolina. The western part of North Carolina, northwestern part of North Carolina is where this last hurricane hit, and all the states in between that it passed over. And there's Ecta. Good morning. Well, it's nighttime for us. I don't know where you're at that it's morning, so you got to be in another country. It's 8:54 p.m. here in Texas. Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, there was that one hospital, I think it was in Johnson City. They had to evacuate the hospital. The patients were on the roof of the hospital. That's how it was flooded. They were rescuing patients off the roof. India, okay, 7:24 in the morning where you're at in India. Well, welcome from India. And he just said it was 7:24 a.m. in India where he's from or she's from. I'm not sure if it's female or male. Female, I think. Ecta. I wouldn't say for sure, but female, that's what I thought. Because I just went to your channel page. It's kind of cool. Your husband. Yeah, we welcome everybody from wherever you come from. Doesn't matter. Janice said India was where her husband and dad was born. Her husband, dad, or husband's dad was born. Yeah, we've got people from England, the UK, India, the Philippines, Iran, lots of different countries that have subscribed to my channel, which tickles me to death. Hawaii, Canada. I'm glad to see everybody coming in. Yeah, but I think anytime I come up with a little sewing tip, I do stuff like that and I take it for granted. I just figure, well, everybody knows how to do that. I don't stop to think, well, no, they don't, because a lot of people have never done that before. So I just figured you might like that little sewing tip on if your PJs are too long. Make some harem pants out of them. Put you some elastic in the hem. How long have we been on here? Not quite 2 hours. Yeah, I was wondering. I wonder how the weather is in India right now. The states is getting hit by hurricanes, and looks like half the states are flooded. Half of the United States is underwater. And they claim that the West Coast in California, that in the years to come, California is not even going to exist. It's going to be underwater. But that's quite a few years off. Husband's father, mother was from Iraq, and his dad was from Portugal. Oh, wow. Who won trivia? Ann Watson and Jana Jacob. And I was going to get those in the mail yesterday. I already had them packaged up. And when I went out to the car to go to the post office, my car was dead. So since I didn't know what was going on with the car, I left those in the house and drove the car out to the dealership. I sat in the dealership till right about the time they were about to close. It was like 5 or 5:30 before I got away from there yesterday. But it was the battery. They had to charge the battery up, and they said it's good to go. So they said, call them if I have any more problems with it. I thought to myself, well, if I have any more problems with it like that, they need to put in a new battery because that battery is under warranty. I think it's good for 6 or 7 years. Yeah, we had to have a playoff or a tiebreaker between Jana and I don't remember who it was, but I've got it written down. We had to have a tiebreaker, and then Anne reminded me that Gladys said to give her her points because Gladys had to leave, and I had forgotten about that. So when I added the points of what Anne already had and what Gladys gave her, she was the winner. So I ended up having to send out two prizes, which are two rings. Susan says, okay, I think I'll rest now. Swiper. It's been sunshiny here today, and it's supposed to be that way all week. It's going to be in the 90s, 91, 92, 93, all week, no rain. But, since it cooled off a few days after it did rain, the ground has stayed kind of damp. So it's helped the plants a lot. And I need to get out there and mow again. I've got weeds a foot high in my yard. It's just not real thick. They're kind of scattered out, but it does need to be mowed. I hope Connie got some sleep last night. I hope she gets sleep tonight because you always feel better when you get a good night's sleep. I mean, when you're in pain and you got a lot of health problems, when you don't sleep, it makes it twice as bad. Donna said she was in Bombay 89 and 92. Yeah, we're back having another heat wave. I mean, the cool spell don't last but a day here in Texas. Because like I said, nobody told Texas that fall is here. I mean, most days, even in the wintertime, it's 70 degrees during the day or higher. $77 degrees in Hawaii, and April sitting outside with her dog. Well, hey, 6 hours is better than none. I'll tell you, anytime you can get 6 hours sleep, you're doing good. I got a friend of mine, I don't know what's wrong with him, but he says he sleeps an hour, he wakes up. He's up a while, he'll go back to sleep, he'll sleep another hour, and he's back up. That goes on every night, all night long with him. I said, that is crazy. I mean, there's got to be a reason why he's not sleeping. I know a lot of times I have a hard time going to sleep. And even if I don't realize I'm hurting, my arthritis or my muscles, my legs or whatever are hurting from my injuries. And I found if I take some ibuprofen before I go to bed, it gets rid of whatever little bit of pain is there and I can sleep. I'll go to sleep a lot quicker. Just thought of something that I got for the girl upstairs for Christmas, but I think I should get one for Connie too. And I meant to tell you that Gladys has cable and internet issues. She will have it hooked back up Monday or Tuesday. Okay. Yeah, I think you'd mentioned that to me one time before in a message or something, but at least now everybody knows. So they know why Gladys isn't here. She's got internet problems. Well, I've got a fan in my bedroom and I've tried sleeping with it, but the doctor tells me not to because it makes my allergies worse. It stirs up what little bit of stuff's in the air. And I notice I rest better the nights when I don't have it on. Well, I would ask what you got, Susan, but if I do, that'll be telling Connie if you're going to get her the same thing. So I better not ask that question, had I? I know Texas is the same way, Sheila. Our summer goes into October and November. And sometimes I think it goes right on through December. I mean, any place you can run around in shorts in December, it's pretty warm. I remember one year when I flew home on vacation and I had a big coat with me because I knew it was going to be cold when I landed in North Carolina. There was ice on the ground there, it had been snowing. So I didn't want to pack this big bulky coat in my suitcase, so I had it thrown over my arm. And here I am walking through the airport with this big fur coat draped over my arm, and people are running around in the airport in shorts because it was so hot in Texas. But I needed it when I got to Wilmington, North Carolina, because I tell you what, I put it on to get out of that airplane because there was ice and snow on the ground and it had been sleeting a little bit. So it was cold there when I got there. Okay, Jana, well, you have a good night. Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow afternoon at my live tomorrow. Have a blessed night. I think I got a real good turnout for a Saturday night when I hadn't really planned to go live, but I warned you I might do it. Well, I just take some ibuprofen. That's my arthritis pills, and that's my aches and pains pills, as I call it. Yeah, I can understand, Connie. Sometimes the pain, it doesn't matter what you take, it doesn't help. Now you say, shoot, I'll get one for Gladys too. I'm dying to know what this is you're getting ready to get for Connie and Gladys. I don't usually have headaches. I mean, I did a few years ago. My neck injury gave me the worst headaches you could have. I mean, it was just like a migraine. Nothing you took got rid of it. I had to literally put an ice pack on my neck, on the back of my neck, and I'd lay back in my recliner and lay on that ice pack. Every time it would get a little warm, I'd switch out and put another ice pack on my neck. I literally would freeze the back of my neck and my head would quit hurting. It would just go away just like that. And it didn't hurt again for a long, long time. But every time it would hurt, that's what I'd do. My mom told me, because she was here one time when I did that. She said, Linda, you're going to freeze your neck. Because every time it would warm up, I'd put another ice pack back there. And I said, that's the whole point. I said, I got to freeze the nerves in my neck before it will stop hurting. Because you freeze them, everything kind of like gives way and it turns loose and they're not pinched anymore. And my head would quit hurting. But I mean, it would hurt so bad I was at the verge of throwing up, just like having a migraine. And the doctor told me, he said he knows it's a headache just like a migraine. It hurts just as bad. But he said it's coming from your neck, it's pinched nerves. And that was the only thing that would help. It was to put ice packs on my neck. Oh my God, your blood sugar was 254. Yeah, I get aches and pains down my back. I've got them right now down my ribs from pinched nerves in my neck that went down in my leg and my calf. I can touch the back of my calf and it feels like it's all bruised. It hurts when you push on it. But it was in pure cramps that first day. I couldn't even walk hardly. And I rubbed it with icy hot and rubbed the back of my neck with icy hot and did all kind of stuff. I massaged my leg. I hit pressure points up my legs and my hips and my side. And a combination of all of it has helped. It's eased up quite a bit. I can walk normally now, whereas before I couldn't hardly pick my leg up to take a step because it would hurt so bad. It's a cramp that would not go away, is what it was in half of my leg. And it was coming from pinched nerves in my neck. So I've had to take it easy for, well, 3 or 4 days so far. Your blood pressure was low, 102 over. Oh, wow. Goodness gracious, girl. That is low. Sometimes mine will get down to like 119, and I don't have energy to do anything. I can't imagine if it went down to 102. I probably couldn't even hold my head up. Well, it says on here my chat has been disconnected, but then it says it's successfully reconnected. Okay. I don't know what's going on with this Wi-Fi. Susan, I don't mean to get graphic, but my spine is so twisted I have a lot of trouble with bowel movements and it's hard to twist again. Yeah, I understand that, Connie, because I get nerves pinched down in my stomach and area and everywhere, and it affects me going to the bathroom too. It almost makes you like you're constipated. And then when I get it straightened out, I have no trouble. I tell you, ladies, I guess getting older and we're just a wreck, aren't we? I used to tell people I'm like an old car. I need to be put in the shop and have a complete overhaul done. A, a complete overhaul, new paint job, new interior. Yes, I do. There is horses on my shirt. You like my horses? I thought that was a nice Texas looking shirt. It's the only reason I got it is because I saw the horses on it. I thought it went right in with Texas style. Southwestern style. I need to wear that when Gladys is here. Why? She likes horses. You have old lady feet, it's hard to find shoes. Well, I have narrow feet, so usually it's hard to find shoes because everything is too wide for my feet. Thank you, April. I love the t-shirt you sent me. I had that on yesterday. Or was it day before? Well, I would wear it tomorrow. Well, she won't be here tomorrow. It'll be Monday or next week. So it won't be tomorrow that I'll wear it, but maybe I'll wear it the next live I have when I think Gladys will have her Wi-Fi internet back. Oh, wow, Susan. Well, mine are long and skinny. I'm one of these that used to go to the store to buy the size A, like 7A, because my feet were so skinny. And then you couldn't get the A's anymore. Everything was in like B, medium, or wide. So I'd buy the B widths. And now they claim everything that was B is a medium, but a lot of the mediums are still too wide for my feet. And there's not many stores that carry a narrower width anymore, unless you go to a really high-end store, and then it costs a lot of money. I used to get a lot of my shoes at like J.C. Penney, Sears, because they carried B widths a lot. And a lot of the shoe shops carried them, but they don't anymore. Even DSW, I'd go up there to buy shoes when I first came to Texas, because they usually had quite a selection in the narrow shoes. And now, the last few times I went up there, they only had maybe one or two styles of shoe that was in a narrower width. Now everything is medium or wide. Because they said most women they find that come in there to shop have medium to wide feet. They don't have narrow feet. They said you have to go to a high-end store to buy narrow shoes. It's like, I can't afford to go to a high-end store. I can't afford to pay $300 or $400 for a pair of shoes. Oh, goodness, Susan, I know that hurts. Well, since I got those knots like on my heels, I had to go to a half size larger shoe. I had to go up to like 8s and 8.5 now, but I still wear a narrow shoe. These shoes I got on, I made them work because they're really too wide for my feet. You know, these things that go over my feet. So I've got what I call a cheater inside. I don't know if you can see that. You can't see it really. It's a thing that sticks in there around the underside of your shoe that takes up some of the space to make your shoe fit tighter. And now I can wear them as long as that's in there. But if I didn't have that in there, it would be too wide. But I like it because it's got a little bit of a platform type heel. I mean, that's better for my back to wear a little bit of an elevated shoe than it is to wear flip-flops, which are completely flat. But like I said, I can't find shoes to fit my skinny feet. I go in these stores and I find the cutest shoes, and I can't find one that'll stay on my feet. Everything is too wide. Yeah, Connie's little. I used to wear like 7.5, and after I moved to Texas, I started gaining weight, and I guess my feet got fatter too because I went to a size bigger. Dynamite comes in small packages. You got that right. Thank you, Teresa. But there's so many shoes, you know, that like Marshalls and Ross's have, and even this Foot Locker that we have here. They have such nice shoes, but I can't wear them because they're too wide. They will not stay on my feet. Now, sometimes I can get the sandals with the straps around your ankles and across the top of your foot that adjust, you know, with the little holes. You can adjust it, or maybe Velcro straps. I can wear those. But usually I don't like the styles of them. I got these that I've got on, I think. They came from Marshalls, I think, or yeah, they came from Marshalls out here. I got them like toward the beginning of summer. because I wanted something to wear that was cool, that wasn't just a pair of flat flip flops. So I found these and I made them work. Well, funny you should say that, Connie. She's a midget. She said, "Oh, my family's 6 foot and over." My mom is short, or was short. She's shorter than me. My grandmother was real short, and my grandfather was 6'5". And the pictures they have of my grandmother standing next to my granddad. I mean, she was under his shoulders. I mean, she was so short. Her head like come right to there on his arm. Yeah, spinal problems will make you shorter. Like my first daughter-in-law, Stephanie, when she was like 15 in junior high school, all of a sudden one day she couldn't breathe and they had to rush her to the emergency room, and they found out she had a collapsed lung. Well, in x-raying her and everything, they found out the cause of her collapsed lung was the fact that she had scoliosis so bad that it was pinching nerves that collapsed her lung. And they had to put one of the rods down her spine or upper spine. And she said that she came out of the hospital about 3 inches taller than she went in, because her spine was so crooked, it made her shorter. And when they straightened it all out, she was like 3 inches taller. Yeah, it makes a difference, Connie. People don't stop to think about it, but yeah, it makes a difference. She gets along pretty good with the rod up her spine, but it causes problems with her hips. It irritates her hips sometimes when she walks and stuff. But, at least she's walking, she's breathing, she's upright. And it could have been a lot worse. Because, and she said for so many years when she was younger, her parents would tell her to quit slouching over, to stand up straight, stand up straight. And she said, I was standing as straight as my body would go, and they still told me I was slouched over. And it was because of her spine. She couldn't help it. She couldn't straighten up any more than what she was straight. So, poor girl. I mean, it was bad that she had a collapsed lung, but I'm glad in a way that happened. So they got her in the hospital and found out what the problem was, and they could fix it. Perfect hugging height, 5'2". Yeah, I'm only like 5'2", 5'2.5" myself. I might make 5'3" on a good day, but I doubt it. Oh, I got a cramp in my leg, y'all. Oh, it went from one side to the other, but it's not down in the calf. It's in my butt, top of my leg. Oh, wow. You can imagine what that's like when all of a sudden, I mean, I got up, I was walking around the house, no problem. I opened the back door and I was doing filming a short for YouTube. I went to back up back in the house, and when I picked up my right leg to back up, I got a cramp in my calf. And y'all, it wouldn't go away. No matter what I did, it wouldn't go away. I was in so much pain, I was almost screaming. I couldn't walk because it hurt so bad. You couldn't bend or lift your leg. And it stayed pinched for days. And like I said, it's sore now, but at least I can walk without it bothering me too bad. But it's real sore. And I know part of it is still pinched. And that's one reason I'm trying to give it a few more days before I attempt pushing the lawnmower. One of these days, I'm going to get out there pushing that lawnmower, and I'm going to find myself on the ground, not able to get up, I guess. Connie says I only weigh 156 now. I did weigh as much as three. Oh, wow. Not too many years ago, 5 years ago. I went from a 6X clothes to a medium to large, depending on the cut. I like wearing my clothes baggy. And I was just the opposite. I couldn't get my clothes small enough. I was so tiny. I was wearing ones, twos, threes, fours, fives. And then a while there, when I gained some weight, I was wearing regular sizes, but still I was tiny. And then when I gained too much weight, I felt like I was a Goodyear blimp. I was wearing like an 8 and a 10, which I thought for me was huge. Connie says I'm 4 foot 8 inches tall. Yeah. Your legs cramp all the time, spine problems too. Well, mine comes from my neck, and when I overdo it is when it really bothers me. And I overdid it because I mowed and then I helped the next day with all the tree limbs from the trees they cut. And I still got them out there to burn. But that's what happened when I overdo it. My body protests on me, knocks me for a loop, and then I got to take it easy for about a week. And then I can get up and go at it again. But I'm afraid one of these days I'm going to overdo and I'm not going to get back at it again. I'm going to get myself down where I can't do for myself. And that's scary. Curl your feet upward, it stops the pain. I do all that. But when you got a pinched nerve up in your neck that won't turn loose and it's got your calf cramped in a ball, I mean, it was a hard knot back there and it won't turn loose. It's agonizing. Yeah, I wish I could do something to make it better, Connie, for you and Susan and Gladys and everybody that comes in my chats that have all these health problems. I just wish there was something I could do to make it different for you, but I can't. All I can do is say a prayer and hope the good Lord takes care of the problems. Connie said she lost 5 inches when her lumbar spine collapsed. Wow. Susan's 5'5.5". My daughter's a lot taller than me. She's several inches taller than I am. She's probably about the same height my son is, which may be 5'7", 5'6". I don't know. Well, Susan, I kind of feel that way because I know I've got a lot of health problems with my back and neck injury that I deal with every day. And sometimes I suffer pretty bad with it. Other times I don't. But I look around and I find all these people that are so much worse off than I am with their health problems that I feel fortunate. I'm fortunate that I'm able to get up every morning and cook my own breakfast and clean my house when I feel like it, do things for myself. Because there's a lot of people out there that can't. And some of them are a lot younger than me. You tell Jess I'm just a whiny ass. No, you're not that, Susan. You just got health problems, that's all. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I came by accident one time when I was just searching through videos, and all of a sudden I can't remember his name, but he was in this machinery accident running some kind of machinery. It fell over on him or something, and it literally cut him in half. I mean, he's got arms. Well, no, I don't think he. Yeah, I think he has his arms. Everything from like where his leg joints are up, but his legs are completely gone, right up to the sockets, basically. And he's got a YouTube channel. And I watched a few of his videos and I says, my God, I wouldn't think anybody could even survive that. And he's just a young man. He looks like he might be in his 20s. Making your bones deteriorate faster and constant hairline. Yeah, that's chemo is bad stuff. But I cannot imagine waking up in the hospital and realizing both of my legs are gone. I mean, it's just like astonishing to me how well he does going through the injuries and the amputee that he is. And it's just, I don't know if I could have handled it that well. Yeah, it was a construction job of some kind. I don't know if it was machinery that fell over on him or pinned him down or something. I don't remember. But I came by his video by accident. Yes, he has a girlfriend that's very supportive. She's with him all the time. And I know he did start his channel to help support himself. And I thought to myself, well, more power to him. Only through the grace of God or Waymaker. Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine either. And what he goes through every day, you know? I mean, that's his life. He has had to deal with it. He had to learn ways to do things without legs. It flipped over on him. That's what I was thinking. I don't remember what type of machinery it was, but went over on him. Oh, I'm getting a cramp again. I know who you're talking about, Linda. He lost everything from his navel down, even his private parts. He was crushed under a backhoe. He was driving from a reckless driver who ran him off the road. Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, I never would have dreamed you could even survive an injury like that. But by the grace of God, he dealt with it He's pushing on. He's getting on with his life. That's for sure. But too, I guess when you're in a situation like that, you can only do one of two things. You can just lay there and give up, or you can make your mind up that I'm going to deal with it and I'm getting on with my life. And that's exactly what he's done. Yeah, I couldn't remember all the details either, but it was so sad. Yes, very strong willed. You have to be a determined, strong willed person to go through what he has and come out with the results that he's had with it. Because there's so many people, they would have just gave up. They wouldn't even have tried. They just would say, let me lay here and die. He must be a Taurus. I don't know when his birthday is, but he must be a Taurus. He must be stubborn. I knew a girl in college who was born incomplete and had nothing from the waist down, and the doctors just shoved her intestines in and stitched her closed at birth, not expecting her to live. Wow. Oh, wow, Jackie. So sorry. 20 years old ago was in a hole doing construction, and a backhoe loader fell and cut him in half at the waist and pinned him in. Took 7 years to learn to walk again, and he still works in. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Medication makes Jackie like Dumbo. Hmm. He still works in construction today. Wow. He must love construction. I don't know if I could have done it. It's okay. You keep going. Yeah. I mean, you got to keep going. You can't just give up. I mean, there's so many people out there that give up. They go to drugs and they have no life. And other people are stubborn like me, and they're determined and they don't give up and they keep going. Like I said, I haven't told all the life knocks I've had in my life, and I'm not going to tell each and every one, but I've had a lot of them, and I keep going. I'm not the type of person to give up. I'm not a type of person to sit there and start feeling sorry for myself. I don't know what quitting is. I said, well, I get through today. There's going to be a tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow will be a little better. That's what I did years ago when I was having all those bad headaches. I thought I was going to have headaches for the rest of my life. And then some happened in my neck. I don't know. It healed up some way. So my headache stopped. They just stopped. I mean, they may start back in the years to come. I don't know. But the rest of my body protests, with the cramps and everything else that's going on. But I have not had those headaches anymore. Well, I'm not sure how to put it in words, but I don't like to put all my health problems out in front of everybody, like put them on the table. For one, all other people out there can't do anything about it. They can't help it. They can't make it different. They can't change it. They can support you, mentally. But sometimes the more they know, the more it hurts you, because then, like you say, they start feeling pity for you. And that's worse than them not even knowing. Hmm. I mean, I've talked about mine a little bit, but I don't go into any big detail about it. But when somebody says, "Oh, I've got migraines or I've got these splitting headaches," I can relate. I've been there. I've done that. Yep, every one of us, Donna, we all have some kind of issues. Nobody's 100% with their health. Y'all have health issues. You've got problems. That's just life, unfortunately. Exactly. You can either lay there, stay in bed, and wait to die, or you can get up and try, do something. Yep, the Lord always asks for one more mile. Keep your head up and keep looking forward. That's exactly right. And I don't remember how the word it was worded exactly, but Confucius said it. He said, if you don't try, you can't lose. If you don't try, you can't win. If you don't try, you don't know. So try and see what happens. So you can't spell. Yeah, we all read and write typo errors. I'll tell you what, I do a lot of those myself. Sometimes I get in a hurry and I type things, and I think I typed it right. And then when I hit send, it sends something that looks like Chinese. And I thought to myself, oh my God, did I just do that? Well, I've kept y'all here long enough, I think. But I've enjoyed chatting with y'all. It makes me feel better, puts me in a good mood, and I hope it puts you in a good mood to have our little discussions. And I hope maybe my little sewing tip may help somebody with their long PJs. Oh no, Sheila, you hate whiners. I do too. I feel like if they put as much effort and time into trying to fix the problem as they do in whining, they may not have anything to whine about. Yep. You don't know what other people go through until you walk a mile in their shoes or walk a mile in their body. And then you might feel fortunate that you've got the body you've got, regardless of the health problems you may have. Yep. Aloha to you too, April. Hugs and kisses to everybody. And I'm going to see you on the next one. I'm tired, and I know you are too, even though I feel a lot better since we've had our chat. And I hope you do too. So love y'all, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye now.